Peace. Touching this one. And I just want to do this quick rant, man, on on how they treat African Americans, which are really autochthonous Aborigines in North America, and the real reason why we deserve reparations. Okay. All right. The reason we deserve reparations is, I mentioned this in my other videos. And I touch on it quite often because a lot of black people, a lot of African Americans don't know that we was already in this land prior to being colonized. Now, there's a lot of different sources you can check. I always put up Arnodus Montanez, who came to North America, and I also put up what's called the Papal 1452. The Papal 1452, which is called the Dumb Devices. If you look on the Dumb Devices, it tells you in which to send the conquistadors around the world, and that to basically put the pagans or the Saracens, which are another term of Moors or Moorish Hebrews, under perpetual servitude. Okay, so now look, I had a conversation, right, with an African lady today, right? And the shit kind of made me mad, right? It kind of made me mad to a certain degree. Like, I was happy for the sister that she got a degree and she was able to come over here and change her lifestyle. But at the same time, I was kind of upset, right? Now, we was talking and she was telling me all the things that this government provides for her, right? Now, I don't know if a lot of you people know, but you do know that people who not even United States citizens, who just got a visa or got a passport, they could come to this country and go to school for free. You know that. They could come to this country and go to school for free. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that these immigrants that's not even citizens can come here and get student loans to go to school, as well as get EBT, SNAP, food stamps, get all the things that, that we had a hard time getting, and that this government don't want to even give us. Now, I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, these motherfuckers don't even want to give us reparations, but yet they can give every foreigner that comes here a free education. You understand? I mean, I know that some of them do be in debt, but for the most part, a lot of them come here and get free educations. And a lot of us don't even know about a lot of these programs in which they know about. They know about a lot of these programs, and the government is not telling us. And the educated black people that's going to school on these grants and these, and these scholarships, because you can write scholarships to get into school. A lot of people don't even know that. But yeah, you can write scholarships. You can write you can write essays to gain a scholarship to get into school. But a lot of us don't even know about this stuff, but my thing is this: how do you give immigrants from other countries free unearned benefits, and the people of the land, you don't want to even address their situation? Now, I think like this: a person coming from a third world country that come here, there's a lot of opportunity here for immigrants. There's a lot of opportunities here for us too, but for them it's more opportunity because they come here more thirsty. They don't have a problem with working all day long or working 15 hours out of a 24-hour day or whatever, or sometimes more than that. They don't have a problem with that. Now, do you want to say, oh, black people lazy? No, black people ain't lazy because it wasn't no jobs for years that wasn't provided for all of us. Yeah, you had some of us who was able to work, but like I said, it was a large majority of us who were unemployed. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm just touching on that. I'm not mad about immigrants or whatever, as far as they able to come here and get a new life, because some of these people come from countries in which the United States is out there. They causing these conditions for these people to run to this country. But at the same token, how dare this fucking country give people unearned benefits, and at the same token don't want to give us at least our 40 acres and a mule. At least as black people in this country, if you're going to give these people unearned benefits, you want to give them all that, at least we should be able to have our own land tax free. We should have tax free land at the minimum, Okay, I'll be happy with that for reparations. Just give me my land that you motherfuckers can't sell. You understand? Well, we know what they doing around the world too. Just to touch on that, I mean, at least around this country, what they doing is they selling everything. They selling all this land to these corporations, and these corporations like China and all these other countries own parts of our land, and these people don't even want to give us none. And that's the fucked up part. You don't want to give us none of our land after we built this fucking country, after we the aborigines of this country. You don't want to give us reparations, but you give people who not even from this country who didn't, do nothing, who just got here, and then they just looking at you like, yo, who the fuck is you? I'm just as good as you. And I'm not trying to say every person should be equal, but the people who fought for things, or the descendants of people who fought for things, as well as the descendants of people who was oppressed, need to be compensated, just like the Jews, just like the Japanese, and just like all um these other groups of people, these other ethnicities that the European basically, oppressed and cause these certain conditions for these people to be living in now. So, I'm just telling y'all, man, like black people, we need to wake up. We really need to fucking wake up, okay? We worry about these fucking immigrants. These immigrants is not our fight, okay? Our fight is getting our shit together in this fucking country. We can't fight for nobody until we fight for. It's enough of us to where we can fight for ourselves. We don't need to be mentoring nobody. We don't need no more numbers. There's 80 million of us. We don't need no other people to join us. They want to join us, no problem. But for the most part, we need to just fight for us and get what we need. Because every time we mention these other group of people, we forget the things that we went through and our ancestors went through. Yeah, our ancestors went through the shit we went through for a change, for a change for us. Now, in that, however you look at it, if that change for us means other people can be treated right, then that's good. But if you're not treating the people of the land who fought for the shit right, when you treating these immigrants right, then that's a fucking problem. So listen, Aborigines or Indigenous Americans, y'all need to wake the fuck up. You need to wake up and realize what the fuck is going on in this country. Okay? Check my other videos out. I always tell you, you are not the same. You are different, Aborigines, Indigenous Americans. Okay? And I'm not trying to say that like, I'm just letting you know. If I go to another land and I go there and there's special people, I gotta honor that. I can't be mad because I'm not one of them. I have to honor that. Understand what I'm saying? People come here, they get these free educations with Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, with regards to whether you want to call them coons or whatever you want to call. I mean, well, I don't know about Malcolm X, but if certain people got mixed feelings about Michael King, aka Martin Luther King, or whatever, and some of the other so-called revolutionaries or civil rights leaders at that time or whatever. But for the most part, these people really fought, whether or not the fight was direct or indirectly. One, it was one for these other groups of people who come here. It wasn't one for us because we didn't get nothing. We should be at least addressed and put on some type of pedestal. I'm not talking about everybody in the diaspora. I'm talking about North America, this country, where everybody's coming. So if they can give out free college grants to people who just came here and signed paperwork, then they can give you land for people who've been in this country before this country was fucking. We've been here before the white man knew this was a country, but just on record, we've been in this country before 1776. So you need to address us totally different than you address some of these other people. But they not, because the problem is we're not demanding it. We got so many people who conditioned to think, oh, because they got a little so-called job, they don't never come back and help the rest of these people. You'd be surprised how many people I talk to who just for self, who don't have no intentions on helping their people, who just for self, or at least helping someone that's in, another black person that you can say, well, damn, no, at least I can give out some information. At least I can tell them how I did it for me to be successful. We don't even do that. So, like I said, look around, talk to people who, you know what I'm saying, who migrated here, and you ask them. You ask them, what kind of benefits do this country give you? They give them food, they give them everything that they give you. Everything that they complain that you want is everything that they give these people when they come here. So with that being said, we need to get our fucking reparations. These people need to stop playing with us, because the more and more shit come out, the more and more people gonna find out. You understand what I'm saying? So we need to get compensated for our pain and suffering in this fucking country. Since you compensating other people for pain and suffering that took place in other parts of the country or other parts of the world. You understand? Like the Jews, the Japanese, and now you're giving compensation to numerous people from other countries that enter this country. You're giving them free schooling, you're giving them housing, you're giving them all types of things that you don't want to get an African American or the Aborigine, indigenous, okay, American, and the only real Americans. Let me just put that in it. There's only one true American in North America, and that is the Negro, who been reclassified as the African American, Negro, colors, and black. So with that being said, I'm a Thompson one, and I am out. Peace.